Good morning everyone. I'm Lisa from Craftin' and Cruisin'. Welcome. I hope you're having a great morning. When you get on, say hi. If you're watching the replay, let me know you're watching the replay, where you're watching from. And I didn't think I was going to be able to be on today. Let's see, Kathy D is coming on soon. Because my daughter is having surgery. In fact, she's prepped and ready to go. I don't think so far she's gotten there yet, but her husband just texted me and said that he would let me know. Hey, Deb. Let me know when he hears from the doctor. So he may not actually call me until surgery's over. But I would appreciate you guys praying for her. Her name's Brittany. She's a nurse in Lexington, Kentucky, and she has a lot of very large stones in her gallbladder, as well as a pretty good amount of sludge. And so she had her first ever gallbladder attack on Thanksgiving weekend when they were at his mom's house in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And by the time she got to the emergency room, the doctor told her, thank you, Deb, that it was that her gallbladder was very, very full of sludge and stones, and that it needed to come out. But at the time, he thought the pain was mostly from a stone blocking the duct. But by the time they did the CAT scan, they thought the stone had passed. So she had to have a procedure Monday, which is why I came on up Monday, where they went down her throat to make sure there was nothing blocking the duct, like a stone or some sludge that needed to be removed for the surgery today, because if there was, they couldn't perform the surgery today, and the doctor said it's got to come out. So she had that done. There was no stone, there was a little bit of sludge, and they got that out, and the doctor that did that surgery confirmed that she had a lot of large stones. So he said, I am going to be consulting with your surgeon. So anyway, I didn't know if I was going to be taking her or taking care of the children. So Kyle, her husband, took her. And it could be that if he calls me, I couldn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb, because I have to be ready to go to the hospital. If he has to leave to meet with a client, he was going to try not to, but he might have to. So if he does, then I've got to skedaddle over to the hospital to be with her. But otherwise, I'm on grandmama duty today. And so I thought, well, you know what? I might as well just go live while I'm doing this little project, because I told y'all about it. No, I have not finished my snowman. I worked on him a little bit more last night, but then I got off and just got ready for a big day today. So I'm gonna kind of show you step by step what I've done, or what I'm doing. I have made some of these these ornaments before with light bulbs, burnout light bulbs. I'll never throw them away. I've made some Santas, I've made snowmen, I've made angels, and I think one time I even did a reindeer. I haven't seen it in a while, but I've got 2 or 3 of the angels and the snowmen and 2 or 3 Santas that all look a little bit different on my tree at home. So I decided I was going to make some more and share it with you guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a second coat on this one while I'm sitting here, because I put one coat on before I came on, but I can tell that it will be better covered and the facial features will show better if we just put another coat on. And I'm just using Waverly white chalk paint from Walmart. And it's my favorite chalk paint. Chalk paint dries, me too, Deb. Chalk paint dries very fast, but it's a good base to do anything else on top of. So there's very few projects of any kind that I don't first put down a coat of white chalk paint. Now, if you don't keep it sealed real well, I have found that it gets very thick. And so if that happens, rather than throw it away, just put some out and use a little bit of water and thin it down some so it'll dry faster. This is a brand new container I'm working out of. I just got yesterday. So I like the consistency of it. The one I brought with me was pretty thick. So right now I'm just using it, like I said, as a base. I'm even gonna do the top. May or may not put a hat on him, but I still want him to look real snowy. And of course my hands are gonna be very covered with white paint. I still had white paint on them from yesterday. And I don't even remember, oh, I was helping my granddaughter make a snowman. That's what it was, because I was thinking I was just gluing jewels on mine. Hey, Susie Craig. Hope you're having a great day. So, anyway, but I had a string of like fake pearls that you can find in Hobby Lobby in the wedding section, in my bead collection, and she emptied it out, and then she goes, "Hey, Lolly, I could make a snowman for the challenge with this." And I said, "Yes, you could." So she said, "Do you have any paint I can use?" And I said, "Yes, I can. I do." So I gave her some paint, and she started painting, and then she went through my jewels and found some things. I'm gonna hang this up to dry. Found some things she wanted to use for eyes, nose, and a mouth. And I had to help her hot glue that on. But here's what she came up with. I'm so proud of her. Isn't that darling? Let's see, it's just that little empty container, and we put a couple of coats. We didn't take the label off, put a couple of coats of paint. And then she got this little jewel and painted it orange, and then wanted some of this bling trim. So she was, she's in kindergarten this year, so she was very proud of herself. Okay, so now I'm gonna try real hard not to get anything on my clothes. Thank you, Mickey, how are you? So what I did was I just Googled, oh, my daughter just sent me a message. Hold on, let me check this message. Sorry, that was my daughter. She said, FYI, I'm still in pre-op, so she has not left yet. And what time is it? 10 after 12. They told her to be there at noon, I mean at 10, but they didn't tell her what time they would start. So I just went on Google and searched snowman faces. As I've told y'all, I'm not great at sketching on my own. I can reasonably well copy something, but I'm not good at sketching on my own. So let me get a little more of this white paint out here, and then we'll show y'all. I'm gonna close the top. So I'm gonna show y'all what I have done on this one snowman so far, and then I'm gonna finish him with you on here so you can see how I did him. So here he is. You see he's got one snowflake, so we're gonna do the other snowflake. I'm gonna swipe the comments here so I can look at comments over here. There's a little bit of delay on my computer, so I won't see your comments immediately, but I'm gonna get them up here and see. Okay, so this was one of the round light bulbs. It had blown, so I took it out, painted it white. I sketched this face on it while I was in Las Vegas and started painting it, but I didn't have all the paints I needed. So I went ahead and put some of that texture paste thing that I like on here and sprinkled diamond dust on it. I don't like it. I don't think it has enough on it. So I'm gonna put some more texture paste on it and cover the entire thing again with diamond dust. But I just wanted you to see how I did the little snowman, and the snowflake, and it's far from perfect. So it's gonna be a little difficult for you all to see because I can't do like Debbie Root. I have to have it facing toward me. But the main thing is you want a brush with a very fine tip. I just got this yesterday at Walmart. And you want your paint to be very thinned down so that you have more control over it and you can make very light, skinny lines. I always pull towards me. So I'm gonna start, let me get my glasses on. That will help. Okay, I'm gonna start at the top and make a straight line down. And you'll notice I'm not using much pressure at all. Thin it out some more. I'm just barely touching it, feather-like touching. Then I turn it sideways so I can again pull straight across towards me. And then I'll turn it back and I'll do diagonal lines. And I'm trying to save myself enough room where I can put the little extra lines on it to make it look more like a snowflake instead of like a star. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. Get back to my thinned end paint and I roll my brush. Let me show you. Couldn't find anything to put paint on, so I'm using the lid of my container. So I just roll my brush back and forth in that thin down paint. And now I'm just gonna make about the same kind of feather-like strokes, going down at an angle and then back at this angle. And I'm gonna try to get 2 on each mark. I may have to extend my marks a little bit in order to do that, but these are just the little points on the snowflake. And you can use like for the top of it, you could even, if you don't want to use texture paste, you could use of course you can just use Mod Podge and put glitter or diamond dust on it. But you could also get one of the mop heads from the Dollar Tree, the real fuzzy kind that are flat, and you can just cut it in pieces and glue it like around the top. And I will tell you, if you've never worked with those, when you cut those, because I use them on Santa Claus things a lot, when you cut those, they are a huge mess. Those little fibers start coming out and going everywhere. So just be forewarned. It's best if you cut it from the back for some reason instead of on the front fuzzy part. Seems to work better. But you can make Santa's beard, you can make Santa's hat, you can make a little fuzz ball to go on the end of his hat. I think it'd be cute to wrap around here just to give the snowman a little fuzzy, unless you want to put a hat on him. So again, you can see they're not perfect. That's okay. And then if you can see real closely, there's some real light crosshatch lines in the background of the nose and of the glasses. So he's very whimsical, but I think he's so cute. Good morning, Lori. Thank you, Deborah. I think he's so cute. Now when I get as soon as he dries, I'll get my top coat and put on him. And that will really bring the glasses and things out. Okay, so basically, for the most part, he's finished. Now, I started another one, and again, I didn't have all the right colors with me for the eyes, and I was trying to do it in my bed in Las Vegas, and I was, going through the vertigo situation. And so my hands were real shaky. They're kind of shaky today. I'm not sure why. So I'm gonna, first of all, I need to put the mouth back on. This one has a real cute little mouth on it. So I'm gonna see if I can draw it. Y'all will just have to look at it upside down, I guess. I don't think I can do it this way. Let me see if I can reposition it so that you can see while I'm doing it. Okay, I'm gonna come down here. Nope, I can't. So I'll tilt it like this. I'm gonna come down here. Too big. My Czech Savvy Sisterhood pencil has a fabulous eraser on it, by the way. Okay. It's kind of like a teardrop is what it's gonna look like. So let me start really over here and erase. Okay. Now that may be, it is. It's too close to the nose, so I'm gonna move it down a little bit. See, All you have to do is paint over, erase, whatever you need to do. Start down here and come out, and then around, and then up the other side, and just kind of end it like a teardrop. Okay. And then in this particular one, there's like, you can see the tongue on the inside, so it kind of comes down like this, and then comes over like this. Okay. Now, it's got to have a little chin under here. And I just realized I forgot to bring my red paint. So let's do the rest of it that we can do right now. Hey, Margaret from Louisiana, thank you for coming on. Hope you'll hit the follow button and come back and visit again. Now, see his eyebrows and the edges of his eye? I don't like them that thick. I don't know why, it just bothers me. So all I'm gonna do is take a little white paint and I'm gonna thin them out a little bit. And I want a big blob right there. I'll come over here and thin that out. Oh, you can't see. Thin that out a bit, okay? So that one's a little bit thinner. It doesn't matter if it's a little, the paint is a little thick right there. Nobody's gonna get close enough to your project to go, oh, this paint is really thick right here. And if so, they're way too close to your project anyway, so just invite them to move back and look at it. So I'm just thinning these lines out because they were too thick for me. I was also that day working without my glasses and I was dizzy, so there's that. So see, that thinned them out quite a bit. Now, I still think that the eyes around the perimeter are too thick. So I'm going to just take a little paint on my thin brush again and go around the edge. See, that just took it down just a little bit. I may want to take out a little bit in the inside because it wasn't real smooth. It was kind of feathered in there anyway of the black. Then I can go back and touch up the black, don't forget. I say there are no mistakes in art, just lessons to be learned. Talked to my art teacher the other day that moved to Atlanta, and I was so glad to hear from her. I miss her so much. Okay, thin out this little part just a little bit and kind of make this more rounded. All right. So that kind of straightened that one eye up. Now I want to straighten the other eye up by thinning it out some. Guess I could try to do it so y'all can see, be better, so y'all wouldn't just be sitting there. Can you see it? Yeah, thank you. I don't have Rodney here to help me with comments. Because they're just really supposed to look outlined. They're not supposed to look real thick. And this got a little wonky right there, so I need to clean it up. Okay. Yeah, that's better. I want to do a little bit on top of this cheek right here in the bottom of this cheekbone. I know a lot of people wouldn't go to that trouble. They would say, oh, for heaven's sakes, Lisa, that's ridiculous. But now the orange, I had to make an orange when I was in Vegas. So I'm going to use this orange, which is a Waverly chalk paint and pumpkin. I should have flipped my camera for you. And I'm just going to go over this nose a little bit to make it not quite such a gross color. That color was real dirty looking and I didn't like it. So maybe if I hold it more like this, y'all can see. And then we'll give him his nose a few little highlights. Then we're going to put blue in his eyes and then do his mouth. And then he'll be ready, once he dries, for a clear coat. And I might Mod Podge and Diamond Dust him too. Okay, so I like that color a little bit better. Now, while I'm near my black, thank you for sprinkling, Minnie. I really appreciate you. They did, Deb? Well, good. Okay, so let me go down here. Make his little chin with this thin line. I honestly do not know how in the world Debbie Rigg does that upside down. I really don't. Okay, before I go get my red, let me put the top on the orange, and we're going to do the blue eyes so we can put some highlights in here. Now, I've got 3 different blues. I've got Folk Art Look at Me blue. I've got Anita's Royal Blue. And I've got Deco Art Americana Tropical Blue. So I think what we're going to do is make our own. We're just going to mix our own. Thank you, Minnie. I'm going to put some of the Look at Me blue right there. And I'm going to put a little bit of this darker blue in. I don't want a lot. I think the lighter will look better. May not even be able to get any out of here. Yeah, there's a little bit. Okay, and then maybe just a smidge of this. This hadn't even been opened, and I don't really know that this color is going to mix well. It's a beautiful color. Let's see. Let's just see what happens. Get my black. Whoops. Instead of hitting my paper towel, I hit my light bulb. Okay, so we can just kind of, I'm going to move it over so y'all can see. We can just kind of mix and mingle and see what we like. So this was the first color. There's a little darker blue. Here's that greenish blue. That's a pretty color for the eyes, don't you think? We can go back and add a little white to it also. So let's put this in the center right here of the eyes. And then we'll give it a little bit of white highlight. Just jazzes her up some, or him, or whatever it is. These eyelashes I put on here, it may be a her. Okay, a little bit more of this blue. I've got my dryer over there, but I really don't want to hook it up and make a lot of noise, and it's not going to take this long to dry. So there you go. My other daughter and granddaughters are trying to get in touch with me, I guess, to find out about whether or not Brittany has gone back. Hold on just a second. I may lose you. I'll come right back. Are you there? Good. Okay. We're back. So let me, you know what? Let's go on and do the black palm here in the mouth, and then we can do the red part. So I'm taking black again on my small brush, and I'm just coming down, outlining it a little bit, filling this part in with black. And then we'll put her red tongue in there. Y'all, it rained so hard in Lexington last night. Brittany and Kyle didn't end up getting home till like almost midnight, and I was laying down on the couch and that rain was unbelievable. It only thundered a couple of times, but man, it rained and rained and rained. She's looking cute. Okay, I don't know why I rinsed that. I'm gonna put a few little lines in the nose to make it look more like a carrot. And I just stuck my finger in the black. Okay, you see? Real thin. Not like that. Let's see if I can curve that one a little bit. Just looks a little bit more like a carrot. And actually, I think I'll outline the whole nose. You still have anybody on here? I have to go do my own live. Sorry, sweetheart. I'll come back and watch. Good, good. Go do your own live. I'll watch yours too. Thank you for coming. Okay, I'm just gonna outline. You know what? That's too thick. Okay. Got something on my brush. I'll have to rinse that off. It's got some kind of something on it. Sometimes I feel like these glasses are not good because they're mostly for distance. I mean for up close, but there's also a 2 up close. And I think that's where I'm at right now. They're 2 up close. Okay. So we got that. Now, hold on and let me grab my red paint. Maybe not. I like green red. Maybe we won't use red paint. Check one more place. Yes, I did. Good. Okay, I got it. So, I don't want this to be super bright red, so I'm going to mix a little black in it. Just a smidge. Except I got too much, y'all can't see. I'm telling you what, black will take over quickly. Just mixing with my brush. I feel like Bob Ross when I say that. Just mixing with my brush. Okay, let's do red. Can y'all see? Let me turn it upside down. Maybe y'all can see better. This part I can paint upside down, I think. I bet when I get home, I'm going to have Amazon boxes out the yin-yang waiting on me. I already have so many at home that have to be wrapped. It's unbelievable. I brought a few up here with me, not for these grandchildren, so they could help me wrap. But I only got like 6 wrapped. So I've got a bunch more at home that are going to have to be wrapped. Just got notification from Rodney's sister that we're going to do our traditional Christmas Eve on the farm. Now I'll go back and add a black line right down here to separate the tongue when that red dries. And then Christmas Eve, we're going to go to the farm. No, Christmas Eve we're going to be at the farm, and then Christmas Eve day we're going to his sister's where we had Thanksgiving. And thank you, Carol. Brittany is in holding, so she's apparently ready to go, but the other day when I met her up there, her appointment was originally was at I think 1:30, and she called me when I was about 30 minutes outside of Lexington and said, "Where are you?" And I said, "About 30 minutes away." And she said, "Well, they called me and told me that they had a cancellation so I can come early. So Kyle and Bree are going to take me over there if you want to just come straight to the hospital." And I said, "Okay." So I got over there 11:30-ish. They took her back at 2:20. So not only did she not get to go in early, she didn't even get to go in at her appointment time. Isn't that the way it goes? Okay, I'm just going to I've already got a couple little highlights here. I'm just going to put a little dot right there. Add a little more highlight. And right there. And then I'm going to make a couple little light, thin highlights just coming out of the pupil area. Y'all, I got to show you something in a minute. That's the cutest thing. My youngest granddaughter just started kindergarten this year. And a lot of the kids her age haven't started kindergarten because she's an August birthday. So she's just barely 5, but she's so smart. There wasn't any reason for her not to start. And but she's one of the cutest little ways of saying things. You know how kids just get something in their mind wrong, and it's just so cute. Sorry, I'll show y'all this in a minute. That was my husband calling to check on Brittany. Let's see, that just adds a little bit more to her. And I think I'm gonna I've got my blush here, and I did a little pink on her cheeks with paint the other day, but I think I'm gonna see if I can round her cheeks out a little bit. Anyway, so Bree just has really cute ways of saying things, you know, that are just kind of special for her. You know, they're just ways that she's often understood things. And so, and you know, I remember when my older 2 grandchildren, yeah, I like that better. When my older 2 grandchildren were younger, and you know how they get those little quirky sayings or ways of saying things, and my husband would sometimes say, because we would repeat it, we would say, you know, whatever it was. Like, for example, one of them, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them for the color orange said "yawange," and we just thought that was so cute. You know, what color is this, Macy, or whichever one it was? Oh, yawange. And so every time we'd say "good," my husband would go, "Y'all shouldn't be doing that, because then she's gonna grow up saying yawange." And we said, "No, she's not. She don't know how to say it the right way," and she did. But so anyway, Brianna has just the cutest things, and she was singing a Christmas song in the car with me yesterday, and I think it was you know, Dasher and Dancer, that one. She was singing that one, so I just put a little tongue thing in there. Well, she she gets some of those names confused, but when she's trying to sing the words, she thinks that she's got them right, and they're so cute. Well, this morning I found a little bag of stuff that she had set to the side. Let me see if I can find. I gotta show y'all this little note she wrote, because this is the word she says, and it's so. Every time she says it, I think it's so sweet. I'm gonna hold it. Well, you know what? Let me see if I can turn my camera. Hold on. Somebody told me how to do this the other day, so let me see if I can do it. I don't think it works. hurt, did it? Can y'all read this? No, that's not the right way. All right, let's see. She said the 2 toolboxes. Oh, I see. Okay. Ooh, that's weird. All right, so you ready? Oops, wrong way. Just Barimber prize. Barimber instead of remember. Lolly, I just Barimbered prize. I Barimbered it. So cute. So cute. Okay. So I believe that this one maybe needs just a little bit more work on this eye over here because it's kind of bugging me. And then it's going to be ready for its clear coat. And diamond dust. Barimber? Barimber, you said you would give us prize. So cute. What was it, Art? Who was the Art Linkletter? Was that him that used to say that? This is showing my age now. Kids say the darndest things. Oops, go the other way, Lisa. Okay, so she's kind of got her eye open like, whoop. And I think, other than a few more wispy eyelashes, she's done. Okay. There you go. Now we're going to do one from me drawing it all the way up. Do you Barimber, Lolly? Okay, let me put it to the side or I'll keep, as my friend that used to do art with me said, don't over booger it. Because our art teacher would sometimes say, no, don't do too much. You're doing a little bit too much. Thank you, Janine. How are you, sweet girl? I appreciate you. Okay, so where, oh, this is on the tree back here. I hung it to dry, so let's start from the beginning of this one and see what we can come up with. I'll tilt you down. I'll move this out of the way for right now. And going to get my Savvy Sisterhood pencil. Decide what's going to be the front. I think it's going to be this right here. So first thing I'm going to do is draw some eyes. No, you can't see me. Almost like he's sleeping, but he's not. That one's a little bit. Let me erase this one and do it a little bit better. First time watching, got a room, but we'll watch replay. Thank you, Carol. I hope you will. I appreciate you coming. Okay, let's come down on that side and come down on this side. So I'm going to have some big old eyes. And then down here. That's too big. Let's see. This one's a little bit too long too. Okay. Then we'll draw a little cheek coming up over it. Can y'all see what I'm doing? I don't think you can very easily, but it's hard for me to see what it's going to look like upside down. Yeah, that one was up too high. Be better for me just to do it and then turn it around and show you guys. So far, here's what we have. I don't think y'all can you see it? Okay, now we're going to draw the little eyeballs. And draw one from over here. So you're kind of mirror imaging, but clearly it's not mirror imaged when you look at mine. Let's start right here and come down. That one should be a little bit lower. Some people can just go right in with the paintbrush and paint instead of drawing. That's not me. I have to have it drawn out. No wonder people don't like to change their cameras. It's confusing. All right, then the nose is going to be like curved right here, and then go whoever invented the eraser, brilliant. He's got a real whimsical nose. Darn it. I'll figure it out one of these days. And then his mouth, he just has two little lines. And then you just like that. I know that sun is kind of, let me hold it up like this. So can you see his eyes and his nose and his mouth? Okay. So now we start with a paintbrush. So let me get my palette back over here. Move this out of the way, and I guess we will start with, I think we're going to start with the blue eyes first. Where is my real thin brush? Here it is. Okay. So we're going to start with the blue of the eyes. I know what's getting on here now. I keep wondering what this is, but I think there's diamond dust on here that's getting in my paints. Okay, so let's start with the blue. Can y'all see? I don't know why I'm shaking so bad. Blood sugar must be low, but I ate. So I don't know why it'd be low. So, what is your favorite family tradition at Christmas? I would love to know. So I'm all about tradition and I'm all about family. And with my mom and dad both gone now, yes, we're trying to establish some of our own traditions, but there's some that just we like to keep alive. For example, I saw somebody posted the other day a picture of saying, do you all remember this? And it was a tree, a Christmas tree with the little thin icicle tinsel on it. And they were talking about, you know, how you couldn't pick it up with the vacuum cleaner because it would clog your vacuum cleaner and how messy it was and all that. Well, that's all my mother ever used. We've never used the long swag of tinsel. Hi, Diane, sweet sister, how are you? And so I've continued that tradition. And my kids absolutely hate it. Now, they didn't say anything to my mom when we used to decorate my mom's Christmas tree all together as a family. They would not dare tell Mimi that they hated the tinsel. They might make jokes about it, and my husband, Rodney, got to the point where he said, you know, because my mother said when she put it on, she goes, now listen, you guys, there can be no more than 2 or 3 pieces of tinsel on a branch. Don't be coming up here and putting a big old hand load of tinsel on these branches because I'll have to go back and redo it. And she would sometimes work hours on that Christmas tree once we had all decorated it and left the house. She'd go back and redo some things and move some ornaments around and make sure the tinsel was just like she wanted it. And so one time Rodney said to her, Mimi, you know, I think we could really save a lot of time on this tree if you would just let me bring a leaf blower up here when you get ready to do the tinsel, and then you just hold the tinsel up in the air and I'll just take the leaf blower and put on it, and then it'll just, you know, disperse it to the tree. And she was like, let me think about that. No. And he was like, well, you really didn't even give it any thought. You know, it's a really good idea. And she goes, no. So it was an art to her. And we honored that art, whether we liked it or not. We did what Mom wanted to do. And so, I forgot to put the eyebrows on. So I have carried on that tradition with my family. And so I tell them, if you don't want to put it on, I'll put it on. We do that last anyway. So y'all go about your bad selves and I'll put it on. Eyebrows are too thick. I'm going to have to thin them some with white when they dry. So they're like, Mom, do we have to do that this year? We don't want to put tinsel on the tree this year. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, you know what? You don't have to want to put it on here, but I do. I like it. That's a tradition from my growing up. And we did it all the years that y'all were growing up and Mimi was still alive. And that's a tradition that I want to carry on. So yes, we have to do it. And if you don't want to participate and if you're not going to do it neatly, then you just go on and let me do it. But I want to keep doing that. So I guess I'll hear about it. You did, Janine? Mary Zwinger, do you ever rest? You go nonstop? I try to sometimes, Mary. I'm not always successful, but I try to. But thank you for coming on. My daughter's having surgery maybe right now. I don't know if they've finally taken her back or not. So I'm on grandmother duty in Kentucky. And I didn't think I was going to be able to go live today because I thought I was probably going to be taking her. And so last night when I did my live, I told people I wouldn't be on live. But then turns out her sweet husband was off and he took her. And so the girls are at school. So I will go pick up the girls later on and probably get them something to eat. And then we'll see what happens from there. I'm not sure. I don't know how long it'll take. I remember when I had my gallbladder out, it didn't take long. So I wouldn't think it would take a long time. Okay, there's one eye. Of course, we'll go back and put highlights in. But y'all, people say all the time, I can't paint. I can't. Yes, you can. All you have to do is tell yourself, you know what? I'm just going to pick up a brush and some paints and I'm going to try it. And I promise you, you can do it. If nothing else, get a paint by number kit and just paint by number and show yourself that you can paint and not be afraid of the paints. They're paints. All you have to do is go back over it if you don't like it. But I promise you, anybody can learn to paint. And there's probably a lot of you out there that have a natural gift of painting that may not even realize it yet until you start. But I promise if you'll start, you'll probably be very surprised at how much you're able to do. It just brings me such satisfaction until it doesn't. Okay, so we got some little eyes on. Still don't like the thick eyebrows, so I'm going to change that. Now we're going to get our orange back open. Or, as my granddaughter used to say, yoinge. My tree until I was boycotted by the family too. No, family's not going to boycott me on that. I used it, then tossed, oh, that's cool, tossed snow on it. My parents always had a live tree, and I loved it because I love the smell of a live tree. But you also really can't put them up too soon because they get dry so quick no matter how much you try to water them and add the proper food and all that kind of stuff. And I like to have mine up a long time. So Rodney and I have always had, not always, I think maybe the first year we were married we didn't, but we usually have artificial tree, and because I like to put it up like the weekend after Halloween. So that keeps us from being able to have a real one, but I always loved it going to my mom's, and because she and Daddy lived on the same property that we live on, so I would go up there a lot and just be able to sit by the tree and smell it, and I loved it. And so 2 years ago we got a new tree because we'd had the same tree for a long time, artificial tree, and it was just, you know, it's kind of wearing down. And so we got a new one that I actually bought from somebody on Nextdoor, on the Nextdoor app, I think. And then we got a rotating thing, so it'll go round and round, which again I absolutely love. But it was flocked, and Mom and Dad never had a flocked tree, even when they had a live tree. Mom just wasn't, that wasn't her thing. But I love them. And this one had the prettiest flocking on it, and and it came with lights. Now this year one of the strands of lights wasn't working, so rather than taking them all off, which would have been a pain, we just added some to it. But I didn't have to add any more flocking, so that was nice. Okay, so here's this one. And then I may have already told y'all this. I'm not going to touch up I'm not going to put the lines in the nose yet. I can go on and give her cheeks, so I may have already told y'all this, but what was I going to say? Oh, another tradition. I think my husband might be guilty of the one starting this. I'm not positive, but I think he probably was. My mother had all of these precious little bird ornaments for her tree that came with clips. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can just picture them in your mind. I know. Came with little clips. You just clip them to a branch. Well, pretty sure it's my husband again. I'm going to blame him right now until somebody tells me otherwise. He decided one Christmas when we were decorating Mom's tree, because it was always a big family affair. Mom would fix dinner or order barbecue in, and then I need some more white paint. We would all go up there and decorate the Christmas tree. So one year, said husband took some of those bird ornaments and would follow someone around, and when they were like putting a tree on the ornament or they were distracted in some way, he would make sure to clip an ornament on their behind, or at least somewhere on their back side. Hopefully they wouldn't know it. And so they'd walk around with this bird hanging off their bottom. Of course, the trick was trying to keep the grandchildren from giggling so much and pointing to it so that the person would know it. So, you know, it's supposed to be, nobody knew who did it, and nobody knew, you know, if they had one on their bottom or not. So we were all walking around all the time with our hands rubbing down our bottoms, and we still do it because we never know if we're going to have an ornament hanging off of our bottom, thanks to my husband. So that tradition started when my mom and dad, well, I don't think my dad was still alive when that tradition started, but my mom was. And bless her heart, she was just so gullible. Most of the time, she had no clue anybody was doing anything. But what's so funny is the grandkids, you know, especially the young ones, they can't keep a secret. And so they'll sit there and they'll walk around and around somebody, you know, until that person finally figures out I must have something on my rear end because this child is following me around going. So that's another tradition. Has anybody shared a tradition with me? Look what I did to his eyes. That's cute. You see? Gave him some little sparkles. And now we need to outline his nose and put a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit more white out here somewhere else where it's not so contaminated. I know, Minnie, it was hilarious. It still is. I mean, you know, it happens every time we decorate. Of course, Mom's not here to enjoy it, but the rest of us do. My sister, I mean, it's just me and my children and grandchildren that do it now, but it's just a fun thing. You know, just having family traditions to me is so fun. Establishing your own are great, but I want to continue some of the traditions that I remember growing up. Now, let me not talk for a minute while I do this, because I knew that was going to happen. It was too wet. Let's see if I can wipe it off. Okay. That was too wet with water. My paintbrush was. So I'll have to touch that up again in a minute. Okay. Just want it very thinly outlined. You could do this with a Sharpie. Sometimes I do that on real fine places because I know my hand is probably going to make a thick line if I don't. I'll be back to talk in just a minute. Meanwhile, y'all tell me some traditions in your family. Never know, somebody may want to start one of your traditions. We also leave milk and cookies out for Santa. And the children always write him a note. And then he writes one back, which is really nice. And usually just leaves like a little crumb of a cookie and drinks most of his milk. But, you know, we tell the children by the time he's gone to all these houses, he's bound to be full and sick of food, milk and cookies. No wonder he's got a belly on him. If y'all haven't heard of PNP Santa, or maybe it's just PNP portal or something. Look up PNP. It's a portable Santa website where you can go online and you can look. You can, I think it's like for a yearly membership or something, $19.99 or whatever, and they've got all these videos of Santa that you can choose which one you want for your grandchild or your child, and you go in and you enter information about them, like where they live, what city and town they live in, what they want for Christmas. So you find a picture of an item that they want for Christmas, and whether they what grade they're in, or what they do for fun and things like that. Look at that little booger, isn't that cute? And then Santa makes a video. They're very, very well done. Very well done. I've been doing them for my grandchildren for several years, and they can't wait to get their video from Santa. So check, it's PNP, Portable North Pole is what it stands for. And look it up. I think I've already done like a pre-video for each one of them that they're going to get today. of him talking to them, and then there'll be one closer to Christmas. All right, I'm putting some blush on this one. This is actually some of my own blush by Ophir, which I love. This company's makeup. When my kids lived at home, we had the tradition of playing Amy Girl. Oh, love that. On Christmas morning, and whoever got up first. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. I love that. And of course, you know I love the song Tender Tennessee Christmas because I live in Tennessee. So my kids love to hear Amy Grant sing Tender Tennessee Christmas. Her kids, not her kids, her sister's children went to school with my kids. As did Stephen Curtis Chapman's kids, if y'all are familiar with Christian recording artist Stephen Curtis Chapman, and Michael W. Smith. I may have told this story on here before. Y'all may not have heard it, but if you know who Michael W. Smith is, he had a song called Friends Are Friends Forever. Go look it up if you hadn't heard it. Have your tissues ready. But it's the greatest song. Okay, I think I'm about through with this one. It's real bright. When the sun goes in, I'll show you. So anyway, let me turn this up. So he, his children went to school with my kids for a while, and then they ended up going to a different school. But anyway, my children's school encouraged parents or grandparents to come have lunch with their children or grandchildren. And so Michael W. would go pretty often, or his wife Debbie would, and Rodney and I took turns going. And so their Whitney, Michael W.'s Whitney, and our Brittany were in the same class. And they were best of buds. Brittany, Whitney. So we, one day I was eating lunch. This was in, I think first grade maybe. Might have been kindergarten, but I think it's first grade. And so we were sitting at the table, and Michael and Whitney were sitting across from Brittany and me. And so, you know, we were all just talking, and the girls were carrying on their little childhood conversations. And Brittany was talking about her daddy and how her daddy just worked really, really hard, and he was busy a lot because he had a really hard job. And so Whitney spoke up and said, well, my daddy has a real job. He's a singer. I thought Michael W. Smith would fall out of his chair, and I was dying laughing. I was just like, out of the mouth of babes. Well, my dad has a real job. Yeah, he does. He has a real job making lots of money with his fabulous voice and his sweet Christian heart. But I was mortified because Brittany was just, you know, like bragging about her dad. You know, well, my dad works really, really hard, and he's busy a lot, and blah, blah, blah. And Whitney goes, yeah, well, my dad has a real job. So, so Rodney doesn't have a real job. Okay, so let's recap, and then I'm going to get off here because I can't finish them until they're dry. Here's the one we just did. Here's the one we finished. Well, I say finished. They've got to have a top coat and then diamond dust, and then I'll probably do something around their heads. And then this is the one we finished the sunglasses on. It's already got some diamond dust on it and some of the molding paste. It's not, I don't like it because it's not white. So I'll probably go back and touch that up with just white paint and then add some more diamond dust to this one. And then I may put something around their little hats. Maybe make some little hats for them, maybe not, I don't know. So here are 3 almost finished snowman ornaments made out of used light bulbs that were no longer burning. So that is that for today. I'm so grateful you all came on. Please do me a favor and share my page out. I really want, thank you, Minnie. I really want to build my viewership, so to speak. But it's kind of gotten off to a slow start. So if there are any groups that you can share me to, I would appreciate that. I would love it if every time I come on, if you would hit the share button and just share it to your page. And, you know, just invite others to come and watch. I think we have fun. Sometimes we talk about funny things, but thank you, Diane. But anyway, I do want to try to build my membership up. So I'm going to take the camera off and show you, because some of you weren't on here last night, the snowman, the bling snowman I've been working on. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I can turn the camera or not. I can't back out of this. So I'll have to turn it, the whole phone. Let me get over here to it. Now remember, it's not finished. All right. Tell me if you can see it. Yes, I think you can. Let's see. Do I need to go up? No, I need to go down. There we go. Okay, blinged out in all kinds of, well, I can't figure it, all kinds of bling. Now, I have not finished yet. She's got a snowball in her hand. If you, I can't do this camera thing, y'all. She got a snowball in her hand. She's gonna throw. It's gonna be diamond dusted. And then I made this hat for her that I will eventually put on her head. And probably have it coming over to the side. So there you go. That's all she wrote. Thank you for being on today. I love you guys. If you have anything you want me to pray for, please leave it in the comments or personal message me, or you can email me to craftandcruise@gmail.com. I would love to pray, and I would continue to ask you to pray for my daughter Brittany and for her family. And yeah, have a blessed day. Go out and bless somebody's day. Talk to you later. Bye.